good.
That looks good.
Just gotta keep an eye on the weather, get a snowstorm here, and we're stuck. Stuck for the winter.
Oh boy, you're gonna love it here, buddy. He wants a ball. Oh, it smells so good. In his door. Oh, smell the pine tree?
Yeah. That sweet smell of pine. Ponderosas, Douglas fir, a lot of manzanita here on a beautiful creek. Today we are in Northern California, east of Redding, and this is the National Forest. Dispersed camping, free dispersed camping along Hat Creek. And Lower Hat Creek is world famous for trout fishing, German brown, rainbow trout, just record fish coming out of this creek. It's still pretty small up here. We're close to Mount Lassen. We are not in Lassen National Park. Beautiful place to camp. There is nobody around. I feel like we have the entire forest to ourselves. Getting out of the van, the first thing we noticed was the sweet smell of pine. And most of this is ponderosa pine. Got a little campfire here. Definitely planning on firing up the campfire as it's been super cold at night. You can see the ice on the water. Crystal clear creek. Wonderful sound. And Rudel says it tastes pretty good as well. This is one of my favorite places in California, and I'm happy to share it with you. Rudel and I are going to take a little walk down the road, see what we can find. There is something down there I want to show off a little bit. So it looks like it's about a half mile away. And you can see it got cold last night. There is still ice in the puddles. A little bit of snow on the road up here, but not much. This time of year, this can be all snowed in. It can be pretty much impossible to get here unless you have a snow machine. Rudel's excited about his walk. I'm excited too. I love this area. It feels like home. I mean, there's probably no reason to have Rudel on the leash right now. There's no people around. There's very few animals right now in this area. At least I'm not seeing much sign. Saw some rabbit tracks. That could be what Rudel's following. There is bear in this area. They're just kind of rare to see. Come on, Rudel. Check out this tree. Big old ponderosa. It's really kind of hard to see on camera how big this thing is, but it's huge. And it's got these giant, scraggly branches that are the size of small trees all the way up. Good boy, Rudel. Good boy. That's a happy dog right there. He's happy to go for a walk. All right, so for wild animals that are possible to sight out here are going to be bear, mountain lion, bobcat, deer, rabbits, squirrels, porcupines, raccoons, skunks. This is a good location. Haven't noticed this one before. Even wolves. There's There's a wolf pack introduced years ago, and I think there might be 2 or 3 wolf packs now. Years and years ago, I used to fish this. It is excellent fishing. And it's a nice cold creek. And the fish taste wonderful out of here. Another big giant ponderosa pine. Just massive trees. Not big as redwoods or giant cedars or anything like that, but still pretty big. Another place to pull over and camp. The road keeps going to the left there. I mean, all these are great. We just were looking for a spot. Good job, Rudel. We were just looking for a spot that was a little further off the road, so Rudel wouldn't have to worry about a car going by. Yeah, nice big area. You get any size rigs in these. I want to show you the sign over here. This is evidence that it's actually legal. 14-day stay limit. And you got the Forest Service symbol up there. That's what I always look for. And 14 days. Pretty sweet. That's pretty awesome that that still exists. And that's one of the reasons we like to keep the areas clean, as we want to be able to keep coming back to this location and others like it without having to pay. Because all they have to do is put up a sign that says no camping except in designated spots, and have the only designated spots be the campground. So this area is remote enough to where it's not being overused. And once the area starts seeing too many people, that's when they start having more regulations. So if, you know, there was hundreds and hundreds of people up here all the time, there probably would be signs up here saying, you know, you could only camp in the campground. Yep, this looks like the campground. And it is gated off. We'll go in and take a look at it, see if we can find out when they shut it down for the year, in case you come up during the normal season. Okay, so the first thing I noticed is it says trailers not advised. This is Big Pine Campground. So if you've got a big long trailer, you're going to want to take one of the free dispersed campsites. And then if you're tent camping, and let's just see if it has any amenities, because trying to think of, it would have to have some kind of amenity to make you want to camp here, I would think, unless you enjoy camping around a lot of people. It does look like there's a couple of pit toilets. Not much information. It is a paid campground, I can tell. Let's see if they have any prices. All right, listed. So nothing posted up here on the season when it's open or not. So it does have a deposit box for envelopes, self-register kind of camping, and find out when they close it. I bet they probably close it in late October. Or it's a pretty good sized campground. Let's take a walk around. You can't tell, but it's actually paved, which is nice because that keeps the dirt down, or keeps the dust down. That's a nice grill. All right, so we're looking at picnic tables, fire rings, pit toilets, barbecue grill, which is super sweet. Don't forget to bring up something to grill, hot dogs, chicken, steak, whatever you like. Oh yeah, some really nice camp spots here. I can hear the river, I can't see it. I'm sure there's trails to it. They've got a bear box for recyclables, and then just a regular open top. So this is a sign that this area does not have a bear problem. There is bears somewhere up here, but it's not a bear problem. Open this up and watch there be a bear. Oh, it's full. I haven't emptied it yet. But nice to have garbage. That's an exciting amenity after you've been on the road for a while. Just having a garbage can. Oh, so there's either cabins you can rent? Possibly, or it's... Oh, we're gonna go take a look. I don't know. There's an old sign here, and I'm trying to read what it says. I think I figured it out. It says, water not potable, boil before using. That's been here a while. It was hard to read. There is, so this is just an offshoot from Hat Creek. This isn't the full water amount. It's I can hear the main body over about another 100, 200 yards or so. But I want to show you the cabins in case you're not a camper, but you want to have the camping experience. If that's what these are. There's a trailer over there. Propane tanks. This could be private. I just don't know. Yes, it is. This is private. Okay, so there is no cabins here. What a nice spread, though. Oh my gosh. So the fence kind of told me a little story here. And then the big private on the sign says the rest of it. But what an amazing piece of property. Right by the campground. Picnic tables, fire pits right here. All right, another trash can. Some recycle bins. So most of this is treed up enough to where solar is not going to work. Starlink is probably not going to work. I just want to see if by chance that they left pit toilets open. A lot of times they do. People coming in the wintertime with their snowmobiles or whatever. And no, that's locked. It's been a while since I've seen a locked pit toilet. All right. If I go left, I go back to our van. And if you go right, you go back to Highway 44. I believe it's only about a mile and a half maybe down that gravel road. So it is nice that there is two ways into this area that we're staying at, just in case a big giant ponderosa tree falls across the road. We have a way out. My little battery operated chainsaw and my axe, it's gonna really suffer, or I'm gonna suffer trying to get the ponderosa tree cut in half. I don't even think I could do it. Here's something I just remembered. When you're in California, you need a permit for campfires. And I had forgotten about that. I was just thinking it's off season. There's no fire danger, but no, you still need that campfire permit. We'll check to see if we can get it online. If we can get it online, then we're set. Rudel knows the way back to the van, just because he knows those kind of things. He's smart and he can smell. And he just wants to run back and see Carrie. Carrie's not with us on this walk just because she has some work to do. Mainly needs to get a video edited. That's going out tomorrow. All right, we are close enough back to the van and off the main road. Sit. Sit, Rudel. Can you sit? Sit. Come on. Okay, he sits. Stay. 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 Go get Carrie. Go get Carrie. And off he goes. I am really looking forward to building a campfire tonight, and we are in California, so that means you do have to have a campfire permit. They're easy to obtain at any BLM, Forest Service, and some Cal Fire locations, and they are free. And they're also accessible online at readyforwildfire.org, and you can take an online test and watch a short video and get that certificate mailed to you in your email instantly. So they made it super easy to get. Some of the requirements are, make sure you do your own research in case I miss out a step, but I'll show you just a few of the requirements that they mentioned in their video. And one of those is to have a shovel and a bucket of water or some kind of container of water. It used to just be a shovel and a bucket, but now you actually have to have water. And we're right near the creek, so that's easy to do. The next step is to have a nice defendable place around the fire. So you could either rake or shovel. We're gonna rake 5 feet away from the edge of the fire all the way out at a minimum. There's not much to burn around this fire, just a couple of pine needles, but I'll still rake it up clean. I like that nice, clean, safe look to it. A couple other things to mention is when you look at the fire location, just because there's a fire ring there doesn't mean it's safe. I like to look up in the sky to make sure it's not under any direct branches. Nice opening here, nothing even close. I do have it all cleaned up and ready to start. I've got my water, my shovel, and also a reminder that it's not just campfires that you need a campfire permit for. If you're going to run a barbecue stove with charcoal or even a propane camp stove, you need a campfire permit. And I don't remember what the fines are. I just remember that they are large. And we have already seen a law enforcement officer drive by. Yeah, that looks good. I'll move the bench in. We'll get the fire lit, get some good coals, and get some hot dogs going on. Riddle's down there in the river getting a drink. And as he drinks, his ball is floating away. But he's keeping a close eye on it, and he's getting it before it goes too far. Oh, there he goes. He got it. Good job. All right, it's getting dark. It's time to start a fire and get some hot dogs roasting. And you'll see some bright yellow lichen in the fire, and that's what I'm going to be using for my fire starter today, along with some pine cones. And this lichen, everything was wet around here. I found it on the ground. It was damp. I put it in my pocket, let it sit there for about overnight, 24 hours or so, and now it's pretty dry. I'm gonna use that for my fire starter. It usually lights up right away. It's looking pretty good. A little bit slower than usual in the summertime. Starts up pretty quick. And I got some dry limbs, and it was not easy to find dry limbs. Oh, it's going out. Let's see, come on. There we go. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a challenge here. And we'll just see if we can get it going. I can always grab out the torch if it doesn't work. Looks like the ones in my pockets, I might have squished them too much and there's not enough oxygen in them to get them going. Come on, fire. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, here's a good one. Yeah. The question is, am I gonna have to get the blowtorch out? Maybe. Well, I don't know if it's starting, Carrie.
Flame?
Let it set there a while. I almost cheated and got the blowtorch out, but it looks like that lichen is starting. It was a little bit of a challenge to find the dry limbs. Everything's been kind of damp sitting on the ground where it was snowy earlier.
Smells really good. Surprised the pine cones aren't going up.
Yeah, everything's damp. I think they will. Looks like that base of lichen is starting to light. I didn't have to cheat.
You didn't use pine needles?
No, I didn't use any pine needles. I think the lichen's better because the pine needles, they flare up and go out, you know, in a second.
They're fun.
They are fun. You can put some on there. So most of our bigger wood that I have off to the side, that we came in here and it was already there, I noticed it's wet. So we need a good bed of coals before we throw any of that on. Yeah, there's the pine needles. Even, oh, those are flaming up pretty good, but they're short-lived. We just need to get some heat. Don't put too many on, you'll drown it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like we got it going on. We'll start adding some bigger wood to it. And we'll have a real fire going here in no time. The temperatures are dropping fast, especially this time of year. It's been getting down in the high 20s, maybe mid 20s at night, and we can already feel it. So it's time to get dinner going. You can see Carrie's already dressed up in a coat and a hat. I am as well. It won't be long before it's just uncomfortable to be outside.
Not in the van with the heater on.
But not in the van with the heater on. I'm sure the heater's going to run most of the night tonight.
Oh, it doesn't run all night.
It's nice to have that though. It really adds a lot of comfort to this time of year camping. And it's going to do nothing but get colder as the season goes on here. I would imagine in a few weeks there'll be too much snow to even make it in.
So tonight's dinner is keto dog, or carnivore dog, or low carb dog.
Yeah, well, the main reason is we did not go shopping. We were gonna go shopping before this camp trip, but then it just didn't happen. And then the other reason...
Well, you know we have a new transmission, and we just recently weighed the van, and the weight was not good. We are at our gross. We are just right there with our gross weight. So we're gonna have to shave some weight off of the van or things in the van. And probably the easiest thing to do is for us to lose a little bit of weight.
We're gonna start with us, but basically we're gonna have to shave a little weight off just about everything we have, and it's more difficult than it sounds because when there's two people in a van, I mean, you pretty much have to be minimalistic to get two people's stuff in there, packed in there already, and if that's all we own. We don't have storage, so it's going to be a challenge.
We're already very minimalistic, but it's gonna have to be like the jumper cables that we haven't used in 5 years. I guess we're gonna have to go without.
Yeah. We're gonna, some of the backup stuff that we haven't used in several years, we're just gonna have to, you know, leave it at my brother's house or donate it or sell it or something, because everything, we need to lose so much of weight, we're gonna have to nickel and dime just about every place in the van to get that amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything that we haven't used in a year, it probably needs to go. You just can't have backup for everything. I mean, you can try to keep some main backups, but you just can't have two of everything, so.
Or a backup for every situation.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Just gotta make do with what you have sometimes, and we're gonna have to pare down and get rid of a lot of junk.
We don't have a lot of junk.
I know, I've already looked through the stuff and I'm like, what can we get rid of?
We don't have a lot to get rid of. And think about this. So we have Rudel with us. He's 75 pounds. His dog food is what, 50 pounds?
Yeah. We'll see what we can do in 1 year, and we'll reweigh and see how it went. It's cold.
It is cold. Once that sun goes down, it gets mighty chilly.
We wouldn't be able to do this without the heater. Or we would, but we'd be stuck in bed under a bunch of covers.
Yeah, it would be very uncomfortable. Did you get cold last night? Yeah? Did you get cold? Yeah. Your ears are cold. You need a hat. You gotta go outside? Okay. Oh. Come on. Oh, it's cold. Get back up there.
Some people think of California as just being super warm and pleasant all year round, or maybe beaches and surfing. But here in northeastern California, especially at higher altitudes like we are here, it definitely feels like winter is coming. But it got cold. We did fine with the heater in the van. Definitely watching the weather, because with these low temperatures and this time of year, it's a matter of time before it starts dumping snow. With that cold weather, that's what keeps people out of here this time of year and makes it just a great place to come get away and camp with nobody else around. Although we did get a few cars on the weekend on Sunday. Maybe a dozen cars came by. But after that, it's just about it. Like during the weekdays, there's nobody left up here. My kind of place. And Ruda likes it. Doesn't have to be on leash. He can run wherever he wants to go. Get lots of ball playing.
Today, the sun is out. It's only 1:30 in the afternoon and the high is 45 degrees, which is not warm. But it feels amazing. Like almost too hot for a hat and a sweater. How does it do that? Riddle and I are just checking out the new ice formations on the creek this morning. And having a nice little walk while the sun's out. Because once it goes down, it gets very, very cold. Stay there. Good boy. Stay there. Yeah, you can't go out there. I've been very, very cautious with Rudel and the stream. I don't want him walking on the ice. I don't want him falling in. That water's cold. I don't know how deep it is. I don't need to go rescue him. I don't want him falling through the ice and cutting his leg. No unexpected vet visits would be great. So he doesn't quite understand why I won't let him go down to the creek and get a drink of water.
If you would like to support our channel, please consider becoming a patron. Thank you for watching.
All right, I'm going to stir it around a bit. I can see right now we're going to need at least one more bucket of water. That is still hot. I'm going to get one more tub of water.